Covering music-related content of all genres and the filters through Eastern Texas, we want you. Come and talk to me from Texarkana down to the coast, Dallas down to Houston, and everything in between. We are ETX ROCKS!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another brand new episode of the ETX ROCKS Show with Boston Chris. But this one will be a D Scribs episode. I'm just co-hosting this episode, but I wanted to come in with an intro. So D Scribs, say hello.
What's going on, everybody?
As you guys know, D Scribs came on board with the ETX ROCKS Show about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's interviewed some fantastic people so far. And we have a gentleman sitting with us today at the Red House in Hallsville. We do a lot of our recordings Sundays at the Red House. And we're sitting with a musician who's been performing for over 10 years. He's opened for folks like huge country Texas Red Dirt artists like Jason Boland and Cody Jinks. He's played at the incomparable House of Blues in Dallas, hallowed ground out there, and he's part of the regular rotation out there now. He's performed there twice, and he's heading back there in December for his third time. Anybody out there who's a musician knows how difficult it is to get into the House of Blues. And we want to thank our sponsors in this episode as well. You'll be hearing commercials from them. Please go out there and like our sponsors. They're making it possible for us to keep this show free for everybody out there to listen to whenever you want. And I'm going to let Dennis take over from here with some questions for Mr. Bo Daniels.
So Bo, where are you from, man? Where were you raised? And
if you ask me where I'm from, I was born and raised in Phoenix, Arizona. I moved to Panguitch, Utah. I graduated high school and grew up in Panguitch. And from there on, after past 18, I moved to Seattle. I'm mostly from Seattle.
So I understand you're going to play us an original song?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
The original song I wrote is called the Outlaw Song. And it's a song. It's one of the probably second to third songs I ever wrote.
Okay.
It's about 5 years old, but it's still doing good. So I dedicate it to great artists like Waylon and Willie and David Allan Coe.
Country legends.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bo Daniels.
Here I am, sitting on a porch, writing this old song about Waylon and Willie, David Allan Coe. And you can't go wrong. It's such great outlaw boys just like me. And can't you see? 'Cause you can't go wrong with one good outlaw song. The Outlaw Song. Here I am, sitting on a porch, wishing I was here with old George. We'd be strumming on the cold hard truth, and he stopped loving her today. Man, I love to play, 'cause you can't go wrong with one good outlaw song. The Outlaw Song. Here I am with this old song about Waylon and Willie, David Allan Coe, the Man in Black and a Possum, George Jones. Here I am, here I am, with one good outlaw song.
And that was Outlaw Song by Mr. Bo Daniels. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Timothy Thomas, owner of East Texas Foundation Repair, located right here in Longview, Texas. If you think you're having foundation problems with your concrete slab or pier and beam home, if you're seeing cracked brick, slanted floors, cracks in your sheetrock, doors not latching or sticking or not closing properly, you may have a problem. Please contact us at 903-918-3409. You can also look us up online at easttexasfoundationrepair.com. We also offer drainage and waterproofing also. Again, Timothy Thomas, easttexasfoundationrepair.com. Thank you, East Texas, for your ongoing business.
All right, guys, we're back with Bo Daniels. So, growing up in, you said Phoenix, Arizona? And
was born in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. Grew up in Penguins, Utah, graduated high school, and moved to Seattle.
So did you have any, influential people in your family, that gave you your start, or?
Actually, my brother and I are the only basically musicians in the family. My mom was a singer, but I left Seattle to accomplish a dream and start playing, and that's what I did. My first trip was to Nashville, and then me and my brother played together. Okay. And then I moved. Nashville got too complicated. There was a lot of competition down there, so I decided to move to Texas and play some music here. That was over 10 years ago.
So when did you realize that you wanted to do this for a living? I know that you won a kind of a huge contest up in Seattle while you were up there as well.
Yeah, I've won several contests in Seattle. That particular one was called the Country Idol. It was a few years ago, back in 2004. The winner of that one opened up for Josh Turner. Wow. And Keith Anderson. Wow. And that was a thrill because that guy is a nice guy. Yeah. I like them both.
Awesome. So you've always been a solo. Oh, have you always been a solo artist, and do you work with full bands as well?
I do both. I do a solo artist, and I do work with full bands. When I get good bands, the people I play with I get good musicians, and the people I played with, Bobby has, some of my good friends like that have played with major artists like Lacey J. Dalton, Johnny Lee, and all of them.
Which do you think you enjoy more? Do you enjoy performing by yourself or having that big band behind you?
Everybody, I get asked this question a lot, and I like both, but more by myself because I like me and my guitar with that style, just
kind of that one-on-one.
Where I can hear me and not a backup band behind me.
Right.
But if I need a band to play with me, then I know some good people that'll play.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So you've lived all over the country, including Nashville and Seattle. So what would you say are the differences musically, from East Texas, and similarities as well from the other places you played at? Similarities and differences. I mean,
just like the music scene in general.
Well, I think they're all the same. I mean, I enjoy playing at all of them, but when I moved to Texas, I discovered there was a lot of competition here as well, just as Nashville. And I like playing it everywhere. I've played in Detroit. When I lived in Michigan, I played everywhere when I was traveling.
Awesome.
Do you feel like maybe is it easier in East Texas for you to find work, or which place that you've lived at do you think it was easiest for a musician to find work?
Well, when I first got started, it was a little tough. But my first start, I was with a promoter. My first start when I opened up for Robert Stowell.
Okay.
So you've opened up for a lot of really influential artists and musicians. Which was your favorite show, do you think? As far as, getting to hang out with somebody cool.
Jason Bowen.
Was it?
Yeah.
And what did you like about Jason so much?
He's more my style of music, and I enjoy playing with him.
So that Texas Red Dirt like style of music.
Yeah, he plays a lot of Merle.
And did you when you moved to Texas, did you just kind of pick up on that style that's predominant here in Texas, or were you already kind of leaning that way before you moved to East Texas? You know, because like Red Dirt country is really popular here in Texas.
I like it, but I don't mind it. I'm a big music fan, but I'm more want to keep it outlaw country,
Right.
Waylon style, and and some Texas country. I like some of it, but I'm really into old country,
Right.
older country.
And tell the folks out there what you think the differences are between Red Dirt country and outlaw country.
You want to give me some? There's probably going to be some feedback, but I like them both actually. But outlaw country's the best, and it's got better sound.
So it's just that old style, you know, the traditional stuff. And,
Yeah, Waylon is Texas outlaw country.
yeah,
That's what I like too.
right.
So you played with some famous musicians and talked to famous musicians as well. Has it changed your music any at all? You know, just meeting these kind of people.
I was offered to. I got signed with Tape Music Group. Tape Music Group is out of Mustang, Oklahoma. For changes, they pretty much changed. Tape Music Group has pretty much created my CD and marketed it and sent it out there. It did, but that's pretty much it right there. And then from there, it was a lot more fun, I guess.
So what drew them to you? You know, describe your sound, if anything.
My sound, it's just my style of country sound would be like old country, like I said, old country. My favorite is Ronnie Dunn.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten told I almost sound just like him.
Oh yeah.
Ronnie Dunn's awesome too.
I love Ronnie Dunn.
So do you feel like traditional classic country is kind of, well, we've already touched on that, but I know you're really passionate about keeping real country music alive and running. How do you think, you know, the industry is changing the way people buy music? You know, like, you know, kind of the cookie cutter pop country is kind of making this mainstream country is kind of making people, you know, what's the word? You know, it's what's marketable right now. You know, it's what people want to buy. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of it. I know you're not
a fan.
either.
Not at all.
But,
not at all.
so
I'm not a fan of pop country.
Right. So if someone out there is a huge fan of traditional country like we are, how can people that are just fans keep that sound alive?
By just continue to love older country. I mean, to keep that sound going, it's probably more people doing it.
Right.
More people need to I think more people need to stay on outlaw country and older country, traditional 80s country. You know, to me, that's real country. Today's country's not country.
Right.
No, really.
And at least Taylor Swift can say she's not country.
Right.
Yeah.
She finally was like, you know what, I'm just a pop singer.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead people.
She finally admitted it.
Yeah.
You know what's weird is, you know.
But when I first saw that little deal with Luke Bryan downing country legends, that really put me to a shame because all the CDs went in the garbage.
Right. I mean,
after that.
And what they tend to forget is they wouldn't be there without these people. You know, and to me, they're it's almost like they're spitting on their music from what they're coming out with, because now it's about, you know, big trucks and shades and
drinking and beer on a tailgate.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on the show before.
That's a lot of Brantley Gilbert.
Right.
Yeah. We've talked about this on the show before, and it's hard for me to continue to talk about it because we do have a lot of Nashville listeners out there. You know, we're picking up more and more each week, and we're really thankful for that. But here in Texas, we're not huge fans of corporate Nashville.
Yes.
We're really not.
Corporate Nashville.
I know we have, I know we have corporate people in Nashville that listen to the show. And so if you are listening, there is a huge audience in this country and all over the world that still love traditional, honest to God, dirt of the earth, classic country. And there are people out there that are really yearning for it. And, when corporate Nashville gets involved and they want to, do the skinny jeans and the tractors and the, the let's go down to the river and all this stuff, it's just the same song over and over again.
It's all the same.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's like you turn on a radio station nowadays, country radio station, and everybody sounds the same.
Do you know what, when Miranda, an episode of Nashville Star, when Miranda Lambert sang, I don't know what was Gunpowder and Lead or not, and I remember was singing something, and Randy Owen got up. He said, "This is country. This is not country." I remember that when I was watching that episode. Randy Owen was really putting her down.
Right.
And I like Randy Owen because I'm a big fan of Alabama. I went to their farewell tour.
Right. And Alabama, I mean, again, is a good example of somebody who is country music.
Colin Ray.
Yeah, Colin Ray. Yeah, I remember Colin Ray. And, we just had Cherie Austin on the show. She was what I consider to be country music.
Cherie Austin is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear that, Cherie? See, you got another fan here in East Texas, Bo Daniels. We've talked about you a little bit, too, in Messenger and stuff. It's cool to be able to share in my excitement with talking with Cherie.
Cherie's favorite song that she does that I like is "Put Your Heart Into It."
Yes, great song.
Lucky in Love's a good one, but I like "Put Your Heart Into It."
And Little Bird and Never Been Kissed and One Solitary Tear. And, we're not even talking about her big hit.
If people don't know who Cherie Austin is, well, you better go study your country a little bit more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. She was the Australian...
Remember, Cherie, I just said that for you.
Yeah. She was the Australian country star before Keith Urban. Think about that.
Yep.
People don't want to think about that, but that's an absolute truth.
I got to meet Keith Urban, and he's really down to earth.
He would seem like it, yeah.
It was years ago when I was in a pool game with him after his concert. He went down to a hoops bar, and I went back there and played pool with him, and we had a good game of pool going on, and I was getting whooped. So I told Keith I wasn't going to play no more. I remember that very well.
So now I know you love doing charity work. Stuff like that. So what are some of the organizations you've helped with?
Well, my favorite charity organization, I'm really avid about animal rights. I've also played in Lovekin last summer for the Angelina Humane Society. I remember that was a show done. I believe it was a few summers ago, actually. It was in Lovekin at the Angelina Fairgrounds. And I'm really avid about that in children's hospitals.
All right, and we'll be right back with Mr. Bo Daniels.
Ladies and gentlemen, this November 12th on Saturday, the Screaming Eagles Tavern at 1016 East Marshall in Longview is having a veterans benefit benefiting the Walkin-Sutton Veterans Home in Tyler, Texas. Walkin-Sutton's helps disabled veterans get the support they need in the community. Screaming Eagles Tavern is an awesome organization in Longview that supports local veterans. It's run by local veterans, and they're having a huge benefit Saturday, November 12th, beginning at noontime and running all the way till midnight. It's only $5 to get in. There'll be food there. There'll be a silent auction, and there'll be 11 hours. You heard me right, 11 hours of live local music. The guy who we're talking to today, Mr. Bo Daniels, will be a part of that benefit, performing at 5 o'clock. We have the one and only Creed Fisher coming all the way from Odessa, Texas, performing at 6. And, of course, the one and only Jeremy Payton playing at 7 o'clock that night as well. For only $5, you guys can come in. You can see amazing live local music, and every penny you spend there will go directly to the Watkins Sutton Veterans Home. We at ETX Rocks want to wish everybody a happy Veterans Day, and we hope to see you on November 12th.
This is Katie Kennedy, the owner of the Liberty Bell located in historic downtown Nacogdoches. We would like to invite you to come on down for our live music, our extensive menu, including our brunch menu available on the weekends, and excellent service. We're open every day of the week except for Monday. We've got live music every day and drink specials. So we'd love to see you in Nacogdoches. Come on down, tell them Katie sent you.
All right, and we're back with Mr. Bo Daniels. We were just talking about, his charity work and some of his favorite organizations. Now, I also read you're a huge dog lover as well.
I love dogs.
And you're very avid in animal rights. So what made you want to get involved with something like that?
I love my animals. I own 5. I'm a big animal fan, dog fan. To me, people are important too, because when I feed the hungry, it is important.
Right.
But to me, I don't think animals get enough rights as people do, and I believe animals deserve much right as people do, because animals are children too.
Exactly.
I'm a dog lover. I love animals. I've rescued one a few months ago.
So what are some goals for Bo Daniels that you have in the future?
My goals are to keep going. I don't quit. To keep trying to get signed to a bigger label, and I'm working on it. And I've got contacts and people I'm talking to and stuff like that. So
what is it that pushes you to keep going? That makes you not want to quit, just keep going.
It's something that I do the best, and something I love doing, and it keeps pushing me to bed. It keeps me going when I think about legends all the time. My favorite's Willie Nelson and stuff like that, and I don't believe in quitting. Quitting's not an answer for anybody. It's to keep it going.
One of my favorite things is can't isn't a word.
Can is not a word. That 4-letter word is not. Right. I don't believe in.
So really, it's your influences that really drive you the most. I mean, you're actually, when you're up on stage, you're almost paying tribute, homage to the legends. Is that your motivating factor most of the time?
Keep the legendary music alive, and keep country music alive.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In a big house in a rich home, driving 2 Maseratis.
Well, you better invite us over, goddamn.
Maybe I'll just drive a big, heavy, nice Ford F-350 like Toby Keith. Toby Keith's my favorite boy right there. Mm-hmm. Toby and Rodney. I mean, he's got a Thunder truck that I really did enjoy.
So I understand you're going to play us another original song, right? So tell us about this one.
This is one of the second songs I ever wrote. After Better Man, I got down and had to write a girl song called Never Want to Say Goodbye.
Okay.
And when I got down and wrote this song, and it's on my CD, and you can buy it you can download it on Google Play, etc.
Okay.
This morning around 6:30, couldn't help but see you here next to me. You leaned over and whispered in my ear, "Did you have a wonderful night?" All I thought was, I don't want to say goodbye. Nothing on to shine in your eyes. It's a beautiful me spinning around like a hurricane, doing all sorts of crazy things like buying you this diamond ring. No, I never wanna say goodbye. No, I never wanna say goodbye. Well, I waited so long for this day to get down on my knees and ask you, please won't you marry me? Baby, please believe me when I say all these things to you. But don't always be true. No, I never wanna say goodbye. No, I never wanna say goodbye. Well, I waited so long for this day to get down on my knees and ask you, please won't you marry me? No, I never wanna say goodbye.
Awesome song, man.
Thank you.
That was Mr. Bo Daniels. So our next segment we like to do is called Rapid Fire. And you have 10 questions. We give you 90 seconds. And, we come up with a crazy punishment. So the punishment is, you don't get it done, you get an atomic wedgie. All right, so are you ready, Mr. Bo Daniels?
Throw it out.
All right. So would you rather have a successful hit with Michael Jackson or record a cover to Merle Haggard that no one ever hears?
Record a Merle Haggard cover.
Dunkin' Donuts or Shipley's Donuts?
Duncan.
Would you rather comedy movies or dramas?
Both.
Comedy dramas.
Comedy's good too, just as much.
Would you rather fly to the moon or dive to the Titanic?
I'll fly to the moon.
Would you rather a Nobel Peace Prize or an Oscar?
An Oscar.
If you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Repeat.
If you could listen to one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Roll me up and smoke me when I die.
Good song. Would you rather jump rope continuously for 24 hours or be forced to watch golf for 24 hours?
I'll just watch golf. I'm out of shape to be jump roping. I'm no Rocky.
Would you rather date Rosie O'Donnell or date Roseanne Barr?
Neither.
You gotta pick one. Come on.
I'll take Rosie.
Okay.
I gotta love Rosie. I love Rosie.
Would you rather lead the pack or follow others?
Lead.
So you're hunting with your buddies. Would you rather miss a dead-on shot on a 14-point buck because you loaded the gun wrong, or inadvertently scare off a bunch of deer by screaming excitedly?
Scare off a bunch of deer.
Yeah.
Boom.
That was rapid fire, Mr. Bo Daniels. I think he did a good job.
Good job. Yeah, I think no atomic wedgie, so you're still sitting comfortably.
Wedgie free.
Thank goodness.
So do you have any social media, any websites that people can reach you at?
Yes, I have my Facebook regular page and my Bo Daniels music page on Facebook. You can look me up on both pages, and also you can look me up at Bo_Daniels on Twitter.
Okay.
So Twitter and Facebook.
So for people listening out there, how has, an artist like myself, I'm pretty curious about this, but how has social media helped your career at all?
Well, Facebook I'm not a real big fan of, but thanks to Facebook, I've had a lot of shows with it, and it's helped my career since I've had Facebook, so I decided to keep it.
So what are some upcoming events you have coming?
November 12th with the Veterans Benefit, and next one will be, and in December, Hard 8 Barbecue in Dallas area in Coppell.
All right.
And I personally want to thank you for doing that Veterans Benefit in Longview. You were one of the first to jump on board with that, and we thank you very much for that. And we're looking forward to seeing you play live out there that day as well. So you guys out there, remember, this has been another great episode of the ETX Rock Show with Boston Chris. Your host has been D Scribs, and here's D Scribs again.
So y'all make sure to support your local music and
ETX Rocks.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Nathan Honeycutt here with ETX Music. ETX's Got Talent is coming to the Gladewater Opry November 15th, and we want you to be a part of it. The winners will be sent to Austin on November 18th to meet directly with the producers. This is not the day of the general auditions, which is the following day. This isn't the same thing as the front of the line pass because there will be no line on the 18th. The winners of ETX Music's Got Talent will go straight into the top producers. End of story. That is where the rubber meets the road. This is a great opportunity. Go to etxmusic.com and check it out. ETX Music's Got Talent. We have partnered with America's Got Talent and NBC Universal, and we hope to see you there at the Gladewater Opry on November 15th. Go to etxmusic.com for more information on how you can enter into the contest, period. You may enter the contest by going to our Facebook page. It's East Texas Music. Go to events, select ETX Music's Got Talent, and submit your best video for our judges to select. If you are chosen, you will be performing November 15th at the Gladewater Opry in Gladewater, Texas. We'll see you there.
We are ETX Rock.